Welcome back, second graders. It is time for math. Now, today, we're going to do, my beard's ended up in my mouth. We're going to do some word problems, more word problems, and some subtraction with regrouping and borrowing. I can see some of you rolling your eyes right now and sighing because I said with regrouping and borrowing. Mr. Frank. That's what I can hear you. I can hear you. But this is all stuff we really could use more practice on. That's why you're rolling your eyes and sighing. I can see one of you right now. Anyway, here we go. So we have more word problems. This first one. And this is the work for Monday. There are some pigs on Mr. Smith's farm. 8 of them are eating corn. The other 7 are drinking water. How many pigs are on Mr. Smith's farm? 8 of them are eating corn. The other 7 are drinking water. How many pigs are on the farm? So do your math right here. Give me the label, or the answer and the label. Now I noticed on some of our math problems from before, some of you did the math correctly, and that's fantastic. However, your label wasn't right. So for example, somebody might write their answer and then write farm. It's not farm, it's pigs. How many pigs are on Mr. Smith's farm? So pay attention to that. Pay attention to what the question is asking and get your label correctly. I don't want to see farm right here. I want to see pigs. And in here, how many what does she buy? Okay. How many what? Or how many are jumping rope? How many what are jumping rope? Okay. So I don't want to see jumping rope right here. I want to see what the correct label is. So make sure you read that. Pay attention to that. Next sheet. For mathematics, here's your favorite part, regrouping with subtraction. I'm going to review the regrouping again. All right. So if we look up here, we have our 10 sticks. And then hopefully you can see that on the video, 2 little squares. So what number does this represent, or what number would this be? These are 10 sticks, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 62. 62, right? So if I were to write it, it would look like that, 62. 62. Now remember, when I do math, we go this way. When you read, you go this way, but when you do math, you go this way. So remember that. All right, so we have 62. 62. What if I have a 62 minus 29? Yes, we do have to regroup. We have to borrow, right? How do we do that? Now, some of you just know right away this is what we do. I'm going to show you with the 10 sticks why we can do this. So if we have 62, first of all, why do we have to borrow? Why do we have to regroup? Because remember, we start on this side. If I have 2 apples, can you take 9 away from me? No. If I have 62 apples, can you take 29 of them? Well, yeah, because you guys have done this, greater than, less than, so you get that part. So yeah, we can do this math problem. So we have 62. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 2. So let's just write 62 over here so you can see how I'm doing that. However, I can't take 9 away from 2 right here. So in borrowing, Mr. 2 or Mrs. 2 comes over to the 10's place and says, can I borrow 10? So the 6 gives 10 over here. And now it's not 2 anymore. It is 10, 11, 12. It is 12. and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not a 6 anymore, it's a 5, right? So this is 5 for 50 because it's in the 10th place. In the ones place we actually have 12. So that's why we can do this. This is why the 2 can turn into the 12. 12. And the 6 turns into a 5. Okay? That's why borrowing and regrouping works. Now we've done this before, and I'm just doing some review, but that's why it works. But the first step we need to always do is make sure that by looking at the problem, by looking at this, the problem, whether or not we have to borrow. But let's go ahead and finish this off. 12 minus 9. 12 minus 9. Now you can either count back 12, 11, 10, 9, or you can count up. And I know you learned that in first grade. 12 minus 9 is, think about it. I'll give you a second to think about it. Okay, 12 minus 9 is going to be 3. And then we know 5 minus 2, 5. Your answer is 33. Okay? 62 minus 29 is 33. That's how we know we can borrow. Now, sometimes when we do these problems, you go, hands come up and say, Mr. Frank, do we have to borrow in this one? Oh my goodness. Where did your mother and I go wrong? Do we have to borrow? What if I have 62? I'm going to set this back up as 62. Okay. 62. What if I have 62 minus 41? Do I have to borrow? Oh my goodness. Do I have to regroup? Do I have to borrow? You guys tell me. Okay, we know if we have 62 apples, we can take 41 away, right? We did that a long time. We did greater than, less than. We know how that works. So remember, start this way and go this way. If I have 2 apples, can you take 1 away? Well, yeah. Right? Yeah. So we don't have to borrow. 2 minus 1 is 6 minus 4. 21. Okay. We didn't have to borrow there, right? Because this number is bigger than this number. I think we all got that. So get those sheets done. Okay? After you're done with your math, take a break, get a drink of water, use the bathroom. Isn't it normally lunchtime? So you could go have lunch if you're doing this in the mornings. There's our math. Oh, on the bottom of the sheet, I'm sorry, forgot this one. Explain how you found the difference for exercise 7. That's this one, right? Now these are a challenge. The 100 minus 42. I better help you with this one. I'm not going to do this one specifically, but if I have 100 minus, let's say I have 100 minus 83. Do you guys remember how to do this? Okay, we have 0, right? So we're going to borrow a 10 stick, right? If I have 0, I'm going to borrow a 10 stick. So this just becomes a 10. Now wait a minute, where does that 10 stick come from? Well, if we try to borrow from 0, that's a 0, so we got to look over one more. So what happens here? The 10 turns into a 9. Now we can do the math. Okay? And we've done this before, and I know this is always a challenge. This is always a challenge for us, whether that's 100, 200, 300, 400, or whatever. Remember, that's how we do that, okay? I'm not gonna do that specific problem. I want you to kind of figure it out. I think you can do that with that much direction. And right here, kind of explain what you did. Well, I borrowed 10 from 100. Oh, did I just give away the answer? Part of the answer. So explain to me what you did there. If you need some help from mom and dad, I'm sure they'd be really happy to help. I'm sure they're glad you're just doing your work, doing your school work, and still learning with me. So anyway, go have some lunch, do some chores, help keep your house clean, right? Give mom and dad hugs. And when we're done, we'll get back to our read aloud. And we have some sheets to do with that on Abraham Lincoln. Bye.